6:30 tonight. Changing rooms and location, followed by 60 Minutes. Then Jim Owen stars in the premiere Australian comedy, The Crack. AFL Premiership Season 2002, brought to you by its premier partner, Carlton and United Breweries. And our telecast sponsors, Holden, Duracell, Eade, Pizza Hut, Primus Telecom, delivering the real value of communication, and the Navy, Army and Air Force. Good afternoon and welcome to AFL Sunday. Melbourne versus Richmond from the MCG is what's on offer for you this afternoon. We might actually just first up take a look at the Melbourne rooms there and, well, all pretty relaxed in the Demon dugout. There's Shane Woden. The scenario is quite simple for Melbourne today. They must defeat Richmond and they've got a real shot then of going up to 5th on the AFL ladder. Percentage-wise, they can certainly do that, depending on the West Coast Eagles, of course. You may have noticed in one of the shots there, young Simon Godfrey with an instruction close at hand, basics, and basics is the name of the game as far as the Demons are concerned today. For Richmond, it's simply an opportunity to salvage something from what's been a wretched season 2002. All right, some of the highlights now from the first quarter of the MCG.
Umpires today, Mitchell, Kelsey and Baldwin. Quick hand, Vardy, releases Woden. On his not-preferred side, that is beautiful. Kicked 6 last week. Against Port Adelaide, Eade comes as a difficult shot, but it's a screen kick. And that is perfect. A goal for Mitch.
Chance never know to run it out. Except for Tivendale now. He's kicking his usual pinpoint, except when he's kicking out the goals, he puts it out in front of Kellaway. Arches the back. Here for opportunity. Ball stays in. Here's a chance for Stafford. He kicks. Right. Kicks it out to the front. Touchdown to the Tigers. A 12-yard point.
Conklin. Gets the ball out the back door. Rogers. Can't start on the bench. Turnover. Correct. Right. They're out. The Demons are away. Uze. Long ball. Roberts got the set. Lost his opponent. It's a red kick. And Roberts was marked 20 metres out. 42 goals last year, so he's an important ingredient up for as Russell Robertson. No mistake here. He's Lowry first, the Demons second.
From the kick in, the Tigers now have got numbers and runners all the way up the members' side. Kellaway over to King, they're probably the two you don't want to get the ball over. They're disposal of it, they're mucking around with it here, the two of them. In the meantime, all the Tigers have been manned up as King runs around, gets his hand with it. A might have a shot from 50, Bureau's a good kick. Inside he goes, they've worked it beautifully. Here's a shot coming up from Mills. And Mills has kicked the goal, I think. Mills has kicked the goal. And the Tigers are level with the Demons.
Pinpoint kick needed, it was indeed Garry. Ball. The release player again, Mills. Kicks forward, the toes away. Stafford directly in front. So lovely push to it, he's right.
Miller's come on the ground, right. Started on the interchange bench. And there he is, Brad Miller playing on Greg Stafford. Big ask for the young kid. It was just a nice little shove that's well disguised. Probably pushed him into Richardson, which didn't highlight for the umpire enough. This bloke has been as dangerous as any.
Stafford got 3 last week. I think the first direct shot goal from a mark from one of the 3, and he's kicked it 32nd.
Boundary throw in, White gets the tap. Leoncelli. Here the players calling for it. It's been intercepted by Duncan Kellaway. Didn't want it, he's kicked it inside the top corner, and he's got it through. Duncan Kellaway's first goal of the season.
3 consecutive goals for the Tigers. Sees them in a commanding position with 3.5 minutes left in the quarter. Hopkins, Bowden, had not much of it. Ward, they can go long here. Neeks has run out directly with his opponent and get for the marks. Kick two, the Demons, both from set shots, and this will be the third set shot goal if he is to convert. David Neeks got his second.
Okay, quarter time at the MCG. The Demons 3-2-20. 7 points behind the Tigers, 4-3-27. Now, just want to show you an incident emanating from that first quarter involving Matthew Richardson and also Russell Robertson there. It was late in the term and probably nothing untoward, but certainly worth having a look at. Certainly in this day and age where gestures by players and coaches are such a part of the game. There he is just mentioning to him that it is in fact still the first quarter. Russell Robertson doesn't take too kindly. A clash of heads there. Now, we certainly don't want to be judge and jury. The AFL will probably take a look at it, but if you were Matthew Richardson, really you wouldn't have anything to worry about of any great regard there. The other big game today is, of course, at Optus Oval. It's the Western Bulldogs versus the West Coast Eagles. Now, late in the third term, it's the Bulldogs 18-5, 113 to the West Coast Eagles 13-6, 84. So the Western Bulldogs certainly doing the right thing by Melbourne. As I say, that match is pretty well dependent on where Melbourne go on the ladder after today's game. So plenty of action for you this afternoon. We'll keep you updated on that match right through the afternoon. For the moment, though, we'll take a break. When we come back, the second quarter action from the MCG. Welcome back to AFL Sunday at the MCG. It's the Tigers by 7 points at quarter time. The Demons certainly with a bit of catching up to do in the second term. Here's the highlights.
Left foot off the toe, Stafford leads out. Couldn't control the hard bouncing ball. Kicked up in the end by Lamb. Out wide the Demons. To the north side, Eade marks.
Uze in front of the smoker stand, finds Lyon Chilling unsettling. This is a bit more promising for Melbourne. His speed required. Beautiful long raking kick. Up towards Neeks, it's over his head almost. Got to the front and cleaned up Gasper on the line up from 15 metres out. A sensational mark from David Neeks, his third contested mark of the afternoon, and he comes in and kicks his third goal. Melbourne back within a point. Gives it a good roost outside the 50. Oh, Johnny takes a screamer.
Whelan now with a forward kick, Neeks on the march. Gasper did well. Right to ground. Crowder will fight. Neeks recovery good. Johnston tackle. Robinson produced the best in ball. Kick his second, Robinson. Richardson right on the boundary line, 50 metres out. Stafford. Punch away good. Right hands are put with ball incredibly quickly. Got his first.
Sensational goal.
Well, that is the classic play that I think a lot of Richmond people would have been crying out for a long time. Richo on the lead and then kick it in long. Cram it. He kicked that in the air still.
Yeah, fantastic.
He's been already in the highlight reel with one of the goals of the year. That is a beauty. Have a look at this. Jumps, awareness and...
Oh, good start.
Fantastic.
Hang time. Ball out wide weakly. Ward under pressure. Newman running off the ball, did well to keep it in. Rogers has kept the ball alive. Whelan, good fly, last line of defence.
Good strong mark here. The players breaking left, right and centre. Inside 2 minutes left in the quarter. Chance for Melbourne now through Broadbridge. He's got the ball. He'll get one down. From being at the wrestling now. The referee doesn't know where the bloke's getting hit from behind on the turnbuckle there at the moment. Here's a chance for Neeks. He's been supreme. Over to Lyon Chilling. Wants to get a shot at goal. Hardy out to Rodney. He can run at the ball. He can pick it up. Now he goes forward and the kick might still come up. Robertson, the opportunity. Gets the goal. He's third.
Demons by a point. Robertson has 3. 2 in this quarter. Just over a minute remaining. Good contest at the G. In the middle of the ground, Anthony McDonald back on the side after a couple of games for Sandringham. Fiora flowing through the middle. Kick was iffy but found the target in Roden. Long way from home. Roden gets it down. Stafford, a genuine one-on-one. Bizzle got back to help. Stafford almost marked off hand. Richardson. McGuire plays the advantage. It's a goal. Matthew Richardson took his first.
So it's half time at the the MCG. Melbourne 6-4-40, trailing the Tigers 6-9-45. So Richmond certainly maintaining their ascendancy there over the Demons. Now, we'll take a break just before we do, updating the score from Optus Oval, the Western Bulldogs in action against the West Coast Eagles there. Since last we updated that score, the Bulldogs have in fact kicked another goal. It's basically three-quarter time, 18-6, 114, doing it reasonably well over the Eagles, 13-6, 84. And of course, plenty of highlights from that game later in AFL Sunday. Okay, we will take a break. When we come back, it's the second half, Melbourne versus Richmond from the MCG. Stay with us. Welcome back to AFL Sunday, our feature match this afternoon, Melbourne versus Richmond from the MCG. At half-time, it's the Tigers by 5 points. I can tell you it's an enthralling second half coming up. Our callers today, Eade McGuire, Brian Taylor, and special comments from Garry, Lyon, former Swans coach Rodney Eade. We pick our play now at the start of the third quarter.
Richmond by 5 points, starting the second half. Melbourne and Richmond. Ottens immediately out of the middle. Paul landed well. Used his body brilliantly. Whelan. A little short give out line, found Wheatley. High ball Johnston. And free kick going Travis Johnston's way.
Hasn't had a heap of it today. 5 touches, in fact, Brian, and 9 to his tag at Duncan Callaway. So that is a good result for Richmond.
So free kick going Travis Johnston's way on the centre wing. Starting to get a little cloudy and a little dark here. I think rain probably won't reach us before the end of the game, but certainly got a lot cooler during the half-time break. Vardy, able to play on. Bowden now stands the mark. Driving kick inside attacking 50. Neats, dangerous first half. Committed the body there, Walsh. Out of the hands of Richardson, Fiora. Coughlin working back. Did it nicely. Handball. Ottens, where do I go? Oops, straight to the wall. Must get rid of it, Bradley. Snapshot goal. Now been Bizzle. And a minor score.
Well, they're lucky the umpire had his, Garry had his back to the umpire on that occasion. It was an unusual way to dispose of the footy, I've got to say.
Campbell from pullback. Strong punch from Rodney. Into the line of Melbourne members, and will have a throw in front of a smokers stand at the MCG. Richmond by 4 points. We played a minute and a half in the third term. Ottens. From an ordinary throw in, got the tap. Ward handballs off to Uze. That's his first handball of the day out of Uze. 15 kicks, and now a handball. Throw in.
I think it's interesting there, Ed, that White's dropped back and they're letting Robertson do the rough work against Brad Ottens here.
Umpire gives it a decent throw in this time, and as a result, Ottens goes up, grabs the ball out of the ruck. He handballed it backwards. It was Bowden on hands and knees. He went to ground a bit too quickly, and we'll have another bounce.
It's where you want pure clearance in this situation, isn't it? It's where they've got to work themselves out. This is where on-field leadership comes into it as well. You can't allow 2 men up. Wogan was the second jumper on that occasion. If they work this well enough, they should get a pure clearance here.
So Wheatley comes across now, stands in front of Ottens, and up they go. Ottens got the tap. Robson tried to climb over the top of him, close to the boundary line. Godfrey kept it in. Zanta, he got it across, and Campbell was crushed and had a bounce. A bit of a rip tickler there, Brian.
It's sneaky, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Campbell playing at half-back. Remember this this corresponding game in the first round, he had something like 17 possessions in the last quarter alone, Wayne Campbell, across half-back against Melbourne.
Great look at it there as Whitney got a fist to it. This is exactly the way the game started. In this sort of format, close in, ball, not finding a lot of space. And it is the way we're starting the second half with the Tigers in front by 4 points. There's the bench for Richmond. Leon Cameron. He's gone off his game a little bit this year after giving a great year for the Tigers last year. Ball. This way, that way, out of trouble. Handball picked up Andrew Callaway. Chappie. They're out of the loop here, the Tigers with space now. Gasper. And the foot skills. Not what you'd require. As Richardson runs out and needs the ball. Bruce walking down. It was a great effort in the end by Cameron Bruce.
Yeah, the kick out of the fence from Gasper. Sort of shinned it out as Bruce gets it across now to White. White at half-back flat. Campbell over the top to Lamb. Runs to centre wing. This time he kicks to the forward 50. 20 from behind. Got the fist from Richmond. Eade just ran over the top of the ball. Robertson was punched from behind by Rogers. Ball spills out to Chappie, who's been good. To Kellaway, who also has been good. Needs to find somebody at the disposal. Back to Zanta. Finally to Campbell. Campbell's kick was a good one. Bowden. Now they can go forward.
Nothing on at the moment, Eade up forward at all.
Nothing at all. Fiora gives a lead. The kick will need to be good. Out in front, and it is. Fiora takes the mark.
It was the only place that Fiora could run to, and Phillips will let him get there.
So Bissell has the last laugh.
From half-back, trailing by 4 points, the Demons. Robinson got the sit on Duncan Kellaway. Brought the ball to ground, he infringed in doing so. The advantage has been played here, rightly so. As the Tigers head up, bringing the ball forward. Ball out wide. Soccer off the ground, Kellaway. Richardson in front, Bruce. Nudges him forward,
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.